If you think core training is just simply doing crunches and sit-ups, you might be missing the most important part. Hi, I'm Dr. Matthew Stay from National Pike Chiropractic, and today I'm going to show you the 3 best exercises to help build a strong, functional core that actually protects your spine.
These exercises are intended to help you build strength. They should not be painful in any way. If you are experiencing pain, you are advised to discontinue immediately and seek the advice of a qualified medical professional.
Now, before we even start moving, we need to learn how to create stability. And breathing properly to create what we call intra-abdominal pressure is an essential foundation for exercise and movement. All right, so when performing proper respiration, first things first, we want to make sure we're breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. Try to have the tongue gently pressed up against the roof of your mouth. The idea here is we want to expand 360 degrees around our abdomen, almost like you're filling up a balloon inside your abdomen for the breathing component. For the intra-abdominal pressure, a way I like to think of this is imagine your abdominal wall here, the 360 degree wall is a aluminum can, like a pop can, and we're trying to prevent it from being dented. So we want to try to expand outward, but do that independently of our respiration. So how this would look and how you can practice this is by laying on your back, your feet flat on the surface, and what we want to do is we want to breathe in, breathe out forcefully as we're pushing all the air out of our lungs. Try to maintain that activation here, and then try to breathe independent of that activation. And feel that expansion all the way around. From here, we can expand into our waistband. Again, think of that canister that we're trying to prevent from being dented. So feel that expansion and breathe. Independent of that expansion. And the ways we can use a block to help us perform this by gently squeezing that block to try to feel this a little bit better. And ideally what you'd want to do is practice 20 intentional respirations about 3 times a day until it becomes automatic. So why does this matter? So the idea of breathing in and around your abdomen and creating this intra-abdominal pressure helps to stabilize your spine and makes movement more efficient and exercise more effective and safer. The opposite, breathing by lifting your chest and rib cage up towards your head, does the exact opposite. Our next exercise is the dead bug, and this is one of the best ways to train proper core control while we start to mobilize our extremities. All right, for our dead bug exercise, what we're going to do here is we're going to start on our back. We're going to create the intra-abdominal pressure and the proper respiration as we did in the previous exercise, and once you get that established, we're going to lift our legs up like that, have our hips, knees, and feet at 90-degree angles approximately. Our arms are going to come straight up into the air with our palms facing one another. And the idea here is we want to be able to extend our opposite arm and leg to the floor without losing the integrity that we created here. So we don't want to arch our back. We don't want to feel like we're losing that canister kind of approach here. So what this will look like is this, and we want to have our heel and finger or thumb hit the floor at about the same time, where the opposite arm and leg remain still. And we can practice a couple reps each way. And this helps to teach us to create proper core stability while we start to mobilize our extremities. And again, if you feel like your back is arching like this, we're not doing a good job of controlling that canister. And for best results, you would want to perform 3 sets of 8 to 12 reps about twice a day. So again, why does this matter? Like we established, we're creating this foundation of proper breathing and stabilization, and by doing so, we can allow ourselves to mobilize those extremities to teach the proper motor pattern there. So our last exercise in the core, building a better core series here is what we call the bear position, and this is a progression from the dead bug, so you want to be able to have a pretty good competency with that exercise before progressing to this. But what we're going to do is get on our hands and knees, our hands directly beneath our shoulders, our knees directly beneath our hips with our toes tucked underneath. We're going to establish a nice flat back from the tip of our head to the tip of our tailbone. We want to avoid sagging or arching or drooping our shoulders or anything like that. Establish good stabilization and respiration as we've done in the previous exercises. And all we're going to do is simply lift our knees up from the surface, and we can hold it lower, what we would call a lower bear position. We can hold it up higher, again maintaining a straightness for the spine. We don't want to see the head arch or droop down. We want to try to maintain a straight line from tip of the head to the tailbone. And from here we can hold this for 10 to 20 respirations. We perform 3 sets of that 2 times a day for best results. From there we can actually do some progressions where we can start to hover one extremity or the other, or we can do opposites similar to the dead bug. Obviously those would be more challenging positions and would require pretty good stabilization, so again you want to be able to make sure you have good control of your breathing and intra-abdominal pressure when performing this. If you want a strong and resilient core, then you need to start mastering these 3 exercises first. Now, if you're dealing with any back pain or if you're just not sure where to start, we would love to work with you. So give us a call here at National Pike Chiropractic.